Welcome to Apex Stew. This time we're going to configure social sign-in using Google onto our Oracle Apex workspace. So the first thing we need to do is create a database. I'm going to create an autonomous Apex instance in this case. So we'll just give it a name. There's the display name and the database name. I'm going to make this Apex as I mentioned. There's different workload types there. I'm going to make it 23 AI, and I'm going to make it a developer instance. The most complicated piece now will be the administrator passwords or the credentials, so make sure they're nice and complex. And click create, and off we go. And there we have it, a new autonomous database for Apex. Now, just for the record, that took 1 minute 48 seconds. So at the bottom here, you'll find the launch instance button. It actually opens the Apex Stew instance, and the launch Apex is in the top right. So this will open to the admin services. Now we need to use the password that we just created. And now, because it's the first time into our Apex instance, we need to create a new workspace. So we'll just click the create button and we'll create a new schema, call it Apex Stew. Give it a password. And there we are into our admin services. And we're done. We can log out of the admin and then log back in using the Apex sign-in to get in. And there we have it, our Apex workspace. Next thing to do is create a Google authentication app, which will hop over to Google to do that. A future stew here. I always forget that you need to get a callback URL for the Google authentication. So what we'll do is we'll log into the workspace, into the Apex Stew workspace, and we'll hop into the SQL commands, and we need to run this command that will retrieve the callback URL, which we need to use in the Google configuration. I'll put the code in the comments. So there's our callback URL that we're going to be using in a minute. So here we are in the Google Cloud Console. I've already got an app open here, but I'm going to create a new project. So if I click on this, just click on new project, give it a name, click create, and then open the projects. You'll see it in the notifications, it's just creating. So just click select project up there, and that's now changed. So now we need to go and create some API credentials or some credentials. If you click on credentials, you'll see we need to configure the consent screen before we can do anything else. So just click on the banner, give our application a name, click create, and we're ready to configure the OAuth now. So let's create a OAuth client. Again, we're creating a web application. I guess it could be different things. Just call it Apex Stew. And this is where we need the callback URL that we created earlier. So you'll paste that in and click create. And this will present you with the client ID and the client secret that we'll need to configure the SSO in Apex. So make sure you copy these. You can't see them again, which is recently changed, so just make sure you take a copy. And here we are back in the Apex workspace where we need to log into the admin services. Click manage instances, security, and then scroll down and you'll find the sign-in options. We'll click on social sign-in. So here we'll configure Google. Make sure the scope says profile and email, client ID, and paste in the secret twice. And click apply changes. So now that's done, we can make this schema the current login. So if you go to social sign in again and then click make current, and you'll notice it gives you some code here. So if this all goes wrong, and in other words the Google Auth doesn't work, you will need to switch back to Apex or database authentication. So make sure you copy that code. Once you click OK, what we now need to do is configure the users that are going to use the different workspaces. So let's go back to manage workspaces. Let's go to manage workspaces, developers and users. And we're going to add users for the new logins. So my email address was oscogs@gmail.com. And there's one important thing you need to remember here. So you're going to create a password that probably won't get used. However, you do need to remember it, but you also need to make sure you turn off require change of password on first use. Otherwise this won't work. So just put a secure password in here. Now you'll need to do this for each workspace in your Apex instance. So you'll notice I just did that one for Apex Stew. If I want access to the admin services, then you'll need to turn the workspace in this page to internal. So if you click on the list, you'll see internal. And again, same goes, make sure you put a password in that you probably won't ever use, and make sure that the require change of password is set to no. And we're done. So now let's sign out of the admin service, and we should be presented with a Google login. So there we go. So we choose our account, and now you'll see, just continue here, you'll now see we now have a list of available workspaces. So if you've got more, you can add them as different users. And there we have it. Sign in with Google into your workspace, and we don't do sign out anymore. We will actually do change workspace, and you can switch between workspaces if you're still logged in. That's it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.